You might remember that our buddy Elizabeth Hasselbeck left Fox and Friends as one of the regular hosts of Fox and Friends. And as absurd as her presence was on that show, there's no shortage of insanity from the different replacements, including Ainsley Earhart, who have worked their way through Fox News' show Fox and Friends. And her co-hosts were sort of visibly confused when she said, after a piece about, they played a piece from a PBS show about actor Dustin Hoffman finding out that his ancestors, that is his grandparents, were concentration camp survivors from the Holocaust. And she came out and sort of very casually said, we can all relate to that. Now, she's getting killed for these comments, saying, what are you talking about? Your parents were, your ancestors were helping George. They knew George Washington, and they were like of the most privileged people we can imagine. What are you talking about? We can relate. And defenders of Ainsley Earhart are saying, well, she's just saying you can relate to the struggles and sacrifices of past generations. Let's take a look at the video and figure out whether this is offensive.
They don't know my life.
But
my father was actually in the Navy.
This is actually Sebastian Dela Cruz, the mariachi
That's not the
singer.
video we were looking for.
No. Here is the actual video. Take a look.
Actor Dustin Hoffman breaks down as he learns his family's history. Listen to this.
People ask me today, what are you? I say I'm a Jew. They all survived for me to be here.
Wow, the 78-year-old Oscar winner barely keeping it together on the PBS show Finding Your Roots. Hoffman discovering that his great-grandmother survived a Russian concentration camp. Before she was able to start a life in the United States, his father had always kept a family history, or that family history, a secret. And that's how he was learning about it, through the show and all the work that they're doing. Wow. Fascinating, and how emotional for so many families.
Powerful program.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
Heather, thank you.
Thanks.
We can all relate to that, though. I mean, you think about what your grandparents did to give you a better life and what your parents did to give you a better life. So, pretty remarkable.
It is indeed. All right, meanwhile, torrential downpours leaving
So
millions
some
of people.
confusion on the faces there of Steve Ducey and Brian Kilmeade. Now, to be clear, it was his great-grandparents, and it was a Russian concentration camp, not a Holocaust concentration camp. So what do you think, Louis? I mean, is it just sort of out of place, right? It's not. What is Ainsley Earhart saying here? We can all relate to Russian concentration camps? I mean, certainly she can't. Or just this general idea that we can all relate to sacrifices of past generations?
I think that's what she was saying. I'm not going to jump all over her for this one.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think she meant that we can all relate to having ancestors in concentration camps. It was just an unfortunate choice of words, I guess.
What do you think of for people who didn't see this? I mean, how would you describe the looks on Steve Ducey and Brian Kilmeade's faces?
They are thinking that was a very unfortunate choice of words.
I actually don't know that it is that easy to really understand the sacrifices of past generations. I mean, beyond the generations you personally know or knew, or maybe one beyond that, it can be pretty tough. I mean, I sort of generally have a sense of the sacrifices that my great-great-great-grandparents undoubtedly made growing up as poor Jews in what now is Russia or Ukraine. But I don't really have a sense of it, right? I mean, conceptually I do.
Yeah. And well, it's tough. It is tough. I mean, how can we really put ourselves in that state of mind and put ourselves in their shoes? I mean, for me, for my family, it was similar, right? Escaping Europe, coming to this country and living, a poor life to escape that. Certainly a sacrifice, right?
Right, no doubt about it. It's just a lot of interesting conversations, I think, coming from what was maybe just a dumb comment from Ainsley Earhart. I mean, she just seems generally clueless about most things that they talk about on that show. I don't know that she's more clueless on this issue than anything else.